I've got receipts. The credit bureau will only accept documentation that's on the creditor's letterhead. If there's something incorrect on your credit report, it must say, this was incorrectly reported, this was incorrectly documented as far as information, incorrectly reported, and that's the only way that you can get it corrected. Receipts, because there's so much fraud and fraudulent information, people, doctors, cancel checks and things like that, there has to be specific documentation in order to get your credit corrected. And if there's things that need to be scored that are going to be affecting your 6 months, and your 12 months, and your 24 month period, then we will do what's called a rescore, which we would then submit it to the credit bureau. When the credit bureau charged, $30 a trade line. So say if you had one account with Chase, you need to get it fixed with all the credit bureaus. It's going to cost you $90. And that's their call, directly passed down to you. But we determine which one are going to make a difference in. So when you're dealing with credit, here's one more tip that I need to tell you. This is a common mistake. You'll get in the mail these free advertisements. 0% for all transfer balances. You know what? You put your thinking hat back on. You say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to transfer all these high interest rate credit cards over here, and then I'm going to pay off. I'm going to shut these off, and we're just going to pay principal on this, and honey, we're saving tons of money, and we're getting ahead of the game. We're going to look responsible. What you have done is cut off all of your old accounts and the history that they have, because when it's closed, your credit is like a ball with thousands of spikes on it. And one of them says the account's closed. Takes it out of that calculation of where your credit score. And now, it doesn't have anything. You ever multiply times a zero? You get a zero? Exactly. In that situation like that, what you've done is taken away the information that you have, and it says you have a brand new account that is maxed out. You want your balances. If you're going to transfer from your old account to your new account, no more than 50%. You want to reduce your old ones to 50%. Wait a 30-day cycle, and then call your creditors up and say, I'd like my interest rate to be reduced because your credit score will be up. It says he has a new account that he's managing well, and we see that he's now managing his old account better. That's the best way to do that transfer. I want to make sure everybody, that's a common thing people run into. When it comes to credit, income, and assets, income, a lot of times when we're dealing with people's finances, historically we're taught, don't ask me how much money I make. Don't ask me, what's my salary, or about my assets, or what's in my bank account. And then you come to me, and you've never even met me, and I tell you, so how much money you make, where you've been working, where you've been living. Give me a copy of your pay stub. Give me your bank statement. Give me a copy of your ID. Give me your mother's death certificate. It's so invasive. So what you think about it, if a friend of yours came to you and said, hey, Dwayne, let me borrow $10,000. I'm good for it, you know me. You go, whoa. I mean, come on over to the house, let's sit down and talk. There must be something going on. But you come to me and say, can I get $200,000? And I don't want to give you anything. Don't even ask me any questions. I know I got good credit, and I got a good history. A lot of people can vouch for me. We're looking at the chances of you not paying us back. We want to see consistency, steady employment, self-employed people. If you're going to be self-employed, have somebody help you structure that. People typically become self-employed, they say, you can avoid taxes. Look, there's a thing about tax avoidance and tax evasion. The difference is 10 years, all right? You want to be, there's a right way to structure your taxes to be self-employed to show the right income. You need to leverage your taxes as an employee. When you become a business owner, you need to talk about it, and I used to, when I would teach a small business class, I said, when you hire a person, you need to create a 3-to-1 return. For whatever that person that you're going to pay them a salary, you need to create 3 times that much in revenue because you're freeing up that time. Taxes have to be the same way. If you're going to pay taxes, what is the income that you're showing going to allow you to achieve? Because when you don't show the income, you're paying it back by larger down payment, higher interest rates, more points, more cost, and also lost opportunity. So be smart. Have somebody talk to you, plan that, so that you can know what's the best way. Wage earners, verifying 2 years employment history. When we're asking for your W-2, we're trying to see the chances of you not making a payment. Have you been working at the same job for a while? Are they consistently making more money or spending money? I don't want to see that you made $140,000 last year, and this year you're making $50,000, and you say, hey, well, They put me on commission, and I'm guaranteed a $60,000 bonus. But you've never been on commission before. What if everything just goes to the front, and you can't make it work? We want to make sure that you understand stability is a really important part of it in your income. And so when we're asking for those 30-day pay stubs, we want to see the consistency of you getting paid. When we're asking for those 2 years W-2s, we want to see the history of you getting paid at the same job and showing an increase or upward mobility in your employment. The likelihood that if that happens, that you're not going to pay us, is going to be minimal. You're qualifying for some of those better programs already. When it comes to assets, money in the bank, a lot of people, when I ask them, so how much money is it that you've been saving? Well, we got out there, got to a mortgage calculator, and we went on this place and that place, and it looks like we need about $5,000 to buy a house, and we have 6. I said, so what, you're not going to eat after you move in? You know, who's gonna pay for you to move? What about the gas and telecom time? What about the home inspection? What about the earnest money deposit? Well, the calculator said we needed $5,000. And we saved 6. I thought we were being prepared. Nobody wants to go out there and test drive a home just to find out later you fell in love with something that you can't get. You know, the reality and the truth is the truth. But sometimes it just doesn't feel good to hear the truth if you're not prepared. Closing costs and the good faith estimate. There have been lots of changes in there. In your folder, you'll see there is an example of the good faith estimate. People always call me and say, you know, what are your closing costs? I say, what do you want them to be? And they say, well, what? Is it like a hustle or a scam or something like that? No. What do you want your closing costs to be? When it comes to getting your finances, you need to understand what's involved in there. How do you compare it? A lot of people present the same program. There are only a few programs out here that are available to us. But then the company will put a tag name on it. We'll call it the first-time home buyer program. You know, the true first-time home buyer program is the FHA loan. It was typical that you need to have 20% down to buy a house, and that's the FHA was created, and they said you can do a roundabout amount of 3% for the first-time home buyer. That is the true first-time home buyer program, and all of the other hybrids are built on the foundation of the FHA loan. When it comes to your assets and understanding your closing costs, the good faith estimate, you'll see on there, there's a solid line to make a true apples-to-apples comparison. And I never mind the competition because the truth, you know, you can't hide from that. We're transparent with that. You want to compare your lender's cost, the 800 section of your good faith